Hey, you know what my favorite day of the week is, guys? New car day. What's up, guys? Look, if I look like I'm sweating, it's because, well, it's hot, and I just got into a fight with a wasp, and I'm not sure where he went. So if you guys see, I'm sorry, that was my own shadow. If you couldn't tell by the intro what I got, and if you're blind, and your name, never mind. Shout out to all the blind viewers. Wait, forget it. Check that out. Boom, my new to me Corvette Z06. It's a 2001 edition, and I got it in black. Shout out to my boy Jermaine Cocoa Butter, Team BTR, taking the record for the 6-speed GM away from old Clammy McFartland. Like, I am so stoked to have this car. Guys, I can't even tell you. This is a bucket list item for me, and I'm not even 50 years old yet. But I always wanted a C6, not a C5. So why did I get a C5? Well, shout out to my friend Chuck Spencer, who had this car. I know the whole history on this car. He's had this thing for years, and he finally decided it was time to move on. He got himself a brand new Mustang GT 350 because he decided he wanted to go crowd plowing, whatever, who am I to judge? No, he said that that car is head and shoulders above this one in terms of handling, creature comforts, and I believe it. There's about 17 years of technology advancement in that new car, but I've always wanted a Corvette. I really wanted a C6, not a C5. So why did I get a C5? Well, if you've worked on both of those generations of Corvettes, you know that fundamentally, once you put them up in the air, they're the same car. The interior on the C5 leaves a little bit to be desired, but we're gonna address that in the future. But this is why I settled for this particular car, because the deal was too good to pass on. This particular model has around 59,000 miles on it, has the factory stock LS6 under the hood with 0 miles on it. Why is the motor brand new? Well, my buddy Chuck, who's the previous owner of this car, used to have a blown 427 underneath the hood of this thing. It had a big old Vortex supercharger on it, and you can still see some of the evidence as by the AN line, as well as the 8-rib pulley sitting on the alternator here. He put it all back to stock, and he kept the power plant for himself to put into another project, and he dropped in the original LS6 with 0 miles on it. This thing had a laundry list of supporting modifications done to it to handle the power that that thing used to make, to include a drive shaft shop, torque tube, which is still inside of the car. The rear tires here, while they look like just some Speedline replicas, if you pay attention, that is a 305 tire. Now, you can't fit a 305 tire on the back of a C5 without mini tubbing it, and this one already has that done, and it's done very well with literally 0 evidence that's ever been tampered with. It is a black car, and it does have some miles on it, so it needs a little bit of love in the paint department, which we're going to take care of that. The wheels themselves, the finish on them, he's been track driving this thing, doing some autocross. They need a little bit of love too. We're gonna refinish those. It has a Corsa Extreme catback, which I'm gonna insert a clip in here. Which I think sounds absolutely incredible. So I got this car for a smoking deal below book value, but why did I settle for a C5? Everybody pays below book value when you're buying used cars. That is not an ordinary transaxle for a Corvette. If you don't know what you're looking at, when you look at that tag right there, then maybe the micro-polished input shaft might help you figure out that this is no run-of-the-mill transaxle. That is a RPM Transmissions level 6 TR6060 transmission with a RPM's transmission level 4 C6 Z06 rear differential, loaded with 342 gears, Quaife differential, and 300M shafts. Google the price on that, and then tell me that this is a bad deal. I also have, where is it? DeWitt's drop-in radiator, super thick, super cooling. an X-pipe. What does that X-pipe go to? Those American Racing long tube headers that are shoved underneath kill face right there. And that box over there is a twin disc clutch. So basically, guys, what this boils down to is I have everything to build the Corvette of my dreams, which would be like, you know, 700, 800, 900 horsepower monster for the price of a stock Z06. So what are the plans for the car? Well, first and foremost, enjoy it and leave it alone. I'm just gonna drive it for a while, as is in its current configuration, and just get used to it. I want a race that lasts a little bit longer than 8 seconds. So I'm gonna go out and start doing some autocross. I'm taking some open road course days, some track days and stuff like that, and just have fun with the car that I've never actually done with a car before. I've done drag racing like my whole life. It's time to do something different. Eventually though, we're gonna throw the kitchen sink at it, power adders, etc. I'm still on the fence of what we're gonna do. I am not big on working on these things. As you can see, everything under the hood of a Corvette is extremely packed and shoehorned in here. So whatever I end up doing as far as modifications, it has to take into consideration the fact that you're gonna have to work on these things. So I really am strongly considering like a rear mount turbo for it, as much as a lot of people are gonna say, like, don't you rear mount turbo, it doesn't work very good. I don't care. Have you ever had to work on a Corvette? It sucks. Everything about working on a Corvette blows. So I don't wanna do it. I don't have a lift yet. I'm sure that's coming eventually. It needs a paint correction. We're gonna knock all that stuff out and just basically take care of this whole car. So shout out to my boys, Jerry Coconutter and Carlos McDartmouth. Man, you guys are an inspiration to the stick shift racers of the Corvette world. I cannot wait to join the ranks of you losers. No, seriously, dude, you guys are an inspiration, and I hope I can be even half as fast as you guys are one day, but that is not going to be a drag car. That is my promise. I already have one. I don't want two. I want to go fast and do a little bit of everything. So that's it. I hope you guys are excited about this thing as I am. I'm gonna try and get better about posting updates on this thing, but honestly, like, I'm not gonna do a whole lot to this thing. I'm gonna go do some autocross. That should be pretty interesting to watch a drag racer who only lives his life 8 seconds at a time try to turn at speed and not like making a left turn up the return road. Should be kind of interesting watching me botch it. Let's see how many cones I run over. Anyway, thanks for checking this out. I hope you guys are excited about this as I am. I need a name for this car, so put it in the comments. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Head over to clappedout.com/store, because obviously now I got a car payment to make, so I could really use a little bit of help with that. I promised my wife that we would take care of it. We meaning you guys. Thanks. Peace.